Listen up.
It's just in.
All the gossip. The Rumor Report.
Gossip.
With Angela Yee.
It's the Rumor Report.
The Breakfast Club.
All right, well, Black Panther director Ryan Coogler, he was in the bank, and he got targeted as a bank robber, according to an Atlanta PD report. He was detained after stopping in a Bank of America. He was making a transaction. This happened back in January. Everything was completely legal, but he was wearing sunglasses. He had on a COVID face mask, of course, because you should be wearing a mask when you're out and about. And he wrote a message on a slip of paper, a withdrawal slip. I would like to withdraw $12,000 cash from my checking account. Please do the money count somewhere else. I'd like to be discreet. Well, the woman apparently thought that he was trying to rob the bank somehow, some way. And when officers arrived, they detained two people who were waiting outside for him in an SUV. And then they went in and brought him outside in handcuffs.
Oh, that's because that's what you see in the movies. In the movies, you see people write down the note and then slide it to the bank teller. That's probably why she thought that, and the fact he was black.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a bank teller, somebody writes down on a piece of paper, give me $12,000.
No, I can understand why you would do that in a crowded bank in Atlanta or anywhere.
It said, I would like to withdraw $12,000 cash from my checking account. Please do the money count somewhere else. I'd like to be discreet.
And I can understand why he would do that. I'll write the note down if there's other people around you. Just robbing season. Like, here's the note.
I've never seen anybody write it down, but if he gave his ID and bank card, it shouldn't have been a problem.
I write it down. Like, if I go in there and I'm taking out a large sum of money, I tell the teller, hey, I'm going to write down what the number is.
Now, according to the report, she went to make the transaction on her computer. That's when it triggered some sort of an alert, and she told her boss that Ryan Coogler was attempting to rob the bank. So in the end...
She said Ryan Coogler?
Yeah. I mean, it's his name and everything.
Yeah, his name is on it.
If he had his name in his account, like that's wild. If you have his ID, because he had to have his ID to get the money out.
I mean...
It was like he just wrote that. It's just not like he wrote the note without an ID or card.
I think what Ryan did is very smart. When I go in the bank and I make large withdrawals, like $200, I always write it down and say, "Here, give me this $200." Discreetly.
Well, in
please.
the end, cops realized it was all a mistake and that he had done actually nothing wrong, but he wasn't happy. So, according to the report, he did ask for the badge numbers of all the responding officers once everybody was released.
Should be the bank lady. The bank lady's doing that call, especially if he gave his ID and card. Like, there's no reason. You have his information. You have his ID. Shouldn't be a problem.
I don't even understand how this could potentially happen, but all right. All right, now.
Also, if she checked the account and saw that he had the money in there.
Had the money in there.
Like, that's weird.
Right. All right, now Kelly Clarkson has an agreement with her ex-husband now. So finally, they've been in court just trying to hash things out. So what she has agreed to pay him, Brandon Blackstock. He's a former music manager. He's now a full-time rancher. She has to give him a lump sum of about $1.4 million. And then she also has to pay him $45,000 a month in child support. They do have two kids together, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. Now, Kelly Clarkson will have primary custody, and they'll live a majority of the time in L.A. where she shoots her show. And he gets custody 1 weekend per month.
She got to pay him child support?
Yes.
Who had the baby?
She had 2 kids by him.
She had them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what he identified as, so I don't know. It could be, he could have had the babies. Who knows?
Right, so she has to pay him, even though she has primary custody and he has the kids only for 1 weekend per month. But, this is, I guess, less than what he was trying to get. Because
how does that work?
She makes $20 million a year from her different TV gigs, her music career, her endorsement deals. She had been paying him $200,000 a month in temporary support, which is $150,000 in spousal support, $45,000 in child support. So now she has to pay spousal support until 2024 only.
Yeah, I've heard of spousal support, but how do daddies get child support? I've never heard that one.
I think it's strange because she has primary custody and he only has them, once a month, 2 days out the month.
I just want to know how. Please, lawyers, school me. How does the daddy collect child support money?
Well, it's happening. And it has happened. I think, doesn't Halle Berry have to pay also?
I thought it was spousal.
I think Halle had to pay.
I didn't know it was child.
I think Britney had to pay.
I thought that was spousal. I didn't know that was child.
No, child, too.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Because he had custody of the kids.
All right, now Travis Scott has announced his Project Heal, and he's donating $5 million for community initiatives. He said, over the past few months, I've been taking the time and space to grieve, reflect, and do my part to heal my community. Most importantly, I want to use my resources and platform moving forward towards actionable change. This will be a lifelong journey for me and my family. While it's easy for corporations and institutions to stay in the shadows, I feel as a leader in my community, I need to step up in times of need. So he said, said, my team and I created Project Heal to take much-needed action towards supporting real solutions that make all events the safest spaces they can possibly be. So it's a multi-tier initiative dedicated to addressing challenges facing today's youth, especially those from marginalized and at-risk communities.
How can you be mad at that?
There's a scholarship fund. Then he has a youth design center, mental health resources, and a U.S. Conference of Mayors and Tech-Driven Solutions for Event Safety.
I love it.
All right, Deion Sanders is talking about his 2 toes that he had amputated. If you guys remember, he was in a wheelchair. He was in the hospital. And here is what he had to say. He actually released a video that is showing some of the behind the scenes. He said, I told y'all we were going to show it all in this documentary, and that's what this is. I got to warn y'all, this ain't a pretty sight.
That final procedure, the amputation of his big toe and his second toe, which was very emotional.
The hardest thing of it all was to look down there and see that and understand, you know, once upon a time he was this type of athlete, and this, you don't even know if you're gonna walk because all you feel is pain, and you just want to get out of this hospital. You just want to get out.
What was the procedure? What was the surgery? Do you know?
What, amputating his 2 toes?
Yeah. Why?
Oh, because there was a blood clot. And I guess they thought they might have to amputate his leg even.
Goodness.
So, yeah, I guess it's fortunate. But he was hospitalized for blood clots from a previous operation. And initially they thought he was going to lose his leg. And they were talking about amputating his leg from the knee down. But he lost a couple of soldiers in the battle, he said.
It's crazy that in 2022, like, you know, amputation still has to happen. I would think that, you know, science would have improved a lot the way they can, I don't know, get rid of blood clots in a way that they don't have to amputate legs and toes and feet and things of that nature.
Sometimes you don't know, though, until it's too late, I guess. All right, well, that is your rumor report.
I'm keeping my toes, too, though. I got a partner that had to get a toe amputated. I'm keeping my toe. Get it bronze or something. Plated gold.
All right. Now, front page news, when we come back, what are we talking about?
Let's talk about this woman who was arrested last week, and that is for allegedly faking her own kidnapping back in 2016 and then lying to federal agents. She just got released from jail after her family posted a bond, but we'll tell you the whole crazy story.
All right. We'll get into that next. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.